So we came home from camping yesterday, and this morning came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're like, what? Camp? Lunch? Blankets? Bedding? What's happening? We couldn't figure out it was hard. It was not good. It was not good.
Well, great way to wake up on a Monday morning.
It was not good. It was not good. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm just gonna get us. I want to go tag. What is that beautiful sound?
It's our wind chimes.
Oh, I love it.
Is it distracting? I can tie them up.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know. I don't know how much audio is picked up on.
Where do you live?
Ohio.
Okay, you're Ohio.
Yes, I'm just a little bit south of Amanda.
Okay, I'm gonna tag you.
Yes, I'm just a little bit south of Amanda.
You're gonna let me tag you? I'll do it after. Okay. Hello everyone. It is a Monday morning. Just getting going here. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but all 4 kids are where they're supposed to be, and that's all that matters to me. So they are gone. They're safe. They're good. And I am continuing my Blog Squad series. My goal is to go live every week with a different blogger who's sharing their story, because when I started, I kind of navigated the whole thing myself, and I think it's fun if we, share our stories together. So Elissa, tell us about you. Where are you? Who are you? Start with the deets.
So I am Elissa, and I live in Ohio. I have 2 daughters, Alina, who is 6, getting ready to start 1st grade, and then Lexi, who turns 4 next Tuesday.
Our birthday's a big deal.
Oh, it's coming up so fast, but we've had such a busy summer that I haven't had a time to just stop and think about her birthday.
Yep.
So I don't know exactly what, I mean, we have plans, but they're not organized or figured out or anything. So we'll see how that goes. But Lexi's going to be 4 next week, and she was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2 years old and 1 month. And we're just kind of learning to navigate it. And shortly into her diagnosis, I dove into it once, because I felt like I knew. I just wanted the formal diagnosis to not feel like I was diving into something that wasn't what I thought it was. So I ordered books, read books, started following pages on Facebook, and then in April started writing. It was Autism Awareness Month or Acceptance Month, whatever, and started writing on my personal page and got an awesome response of feedback just from friends and families and people in the community. And I was like, I really should just try starting a page. And it was actually your book signing. You had one in Ohio right after your book came out, and I met Nikki and Sarah at that. And Sarah, I was telling her about how I had just started a page. She's like, oh, are you part of Coop's Troop's Blog Squad?
Was that the beautiful event that Lindsay put on?
Yes. Yes, it was.
That event was so pretty. Yeah.
It was. Yes, it was. And it was really fun to get to go. I hadn't gone to anything yet autism related, and it was about 3 hours from where I live. I just hopped in my car. It was over spring break. I was joking, comparing it to my husband. I was like, oh, spring break back when you're in college, you hop in the car and you go somewhere fun and party. I was like, no, I'm hopping in my car to go listen to moms talk about disabilities, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how life changes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I met Sarah. She told me about the Blog Squad. And then that was when I kind of started getting into meeting all of the people through the Blog Squad. And it's been a game changer.
It's the nicest people.
They are. When I hop off here, I'm actually going to go see Nikki, and Sarah's out of town. She lives in Columbus. And then Molly's in town from California.
Fun.
So we tried to get Amanda to come, but she had to teach. So
yeah. What are you guys going to do?
I think that we're just going to go out to dinner and hang out.
Oh, so fun.
I'm excited too. I can't wait.
So I can't say enough things about, when Cooper was diagnosed, we didn't know anyone that had a child with autism, and it took a lot of years. And I don't know if that was me having walls up. I don't know if it was where we lived or all his severity. I couldn't tell you if it was a combination. But once I met other families, like it's such, I can't even tell you the life-changing parts about that. And you're still like in the trenches in your home. Like I'm not gonna say that like that goes away, but like we all get it.
I agree. And it makes like the hard parts are still hard, but it also like when you can talk to another person who understands, like you can find the humor in it.
Yeah.
Yes. And it just makes it a little bit less difficult to know that you have those people there.
And I think we all have our friends that we've had from high school. We all have our friends that we've met through our marriages. We have great friends, right? The friends that I have made through autism, it is the silver lining, beautiful part. Like it's like you like fast track the friendship, right?
Yes, you do. And I feel like I've made more friends in the past 2 years of my life that I talk to regularly than I did even when I was in college. Like, because I talked to some of my college friends, but not many of them. But like the people that I've met, like I've never met so many friends at this age in my life.
I completely agree with that. And it was funny. So Carrie Cariello, I feel like I mention her every live I do. She has a page.
Yeah.
About her son, Jack. And we were talking about me, her, and Adrian are starting this new adventure together. And the more to come on that. But she was talking about how like Adrian and we've never all three been in the same room together. And yet we're the closest friends.
Yes.
And there's something beautiful about that.
It really is. It's unbelievable. I would have never dreamt in a million years that autism would lead me to such amazing friends.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's go back to the beginning though. So one of the things I really like to highlight is autism in girls, because I think that that's not talked about enough. What were some of the things, since Lexi was your second, what were you seeing? Talk about the beginning part.
So with Alexi, she had, and I didn't notice it at first. I think that my mother-in-law was actually the one that like kind of like pointed it out to me, but okay, we moved, and when we moved, we lived with my husband's parents for a little while. So then when our house was done being built, we moved into our house, and she started pointing out like, she isn't doing that. But when you guys were here, she was doing that, such as waving and saying hi or bye and things like that.
So she did have it.
Yes.
Okay.
And making eye contact. There were always like little weird quirks about like how she played with toys and like how she just like wanted to hold all of these things. But then the social interactions started to go away and language was gone. She wasn't even making sounds anymore. She hummed all the time. And I thought that it was like a tummy ache sort of a hum. So I gave her Tylenol because I thought that she was in pain. I didn't know if it was teeth. I wasn't sure.
Yep.
And Tylenol stopped the hum. And now I feel awful. I feel like I drugged my baby.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'll tell you a funny story about Tylenol and Motrin that'll make you smile. We have a friend, they're our age, they have 5 kids, and one of their parents is like a big pediatrician, and like they were telling us the story how they called the grandparent. They're like, we both gave baby Tylenol, we messed up or whatever, and they're like, you could give your kid a whole bottle of that, it won't do anything. I always chuckle about that. I'm like,
yeah,
like water.
Yeah. So when once she had kind of said something to me about it, I noticed like she wasn't listening when we said her name. And it was just like all of a sudden, like all of these things started happening where I'm like, what is going on? And I'm an intervention specialist. So what I ended up doing was I categorized like probably like 3 pages of notes. Like, here are the physical things that I'm noticing. Like, if you pick her up, she doesn't hold on. She's like very loosey-goosey. She runs into things a lot. She's falling down a lot. She's bumping into things and it doesn't seem to hurt her. And then I did like a whole section on speech delay, like expressive and receptive. And then I did something else on her fine motor skills. And when I went into the doctor, she's like, okay, you clearly have a list. Let me hear it. So I just went through and I read it all. And she's like, so what are you thinking? I was like, I think she has autism. And she's like, all right, let's get you on a list. Let's get her evaluated. Like, she did not halt us in our tracks at all.
Oh my gosh. And then one more question. So how much older was your other daughter at this point?
She was 2 years and 3 months older.
And is she very neurotypical?
Yes.
So like I always think we didn't have it this way because Cooper's our oldest, but like I think sometimes that stark contrast, did that really widen? Like,
It really did. And I can remember at 18 months, it was Alina's second Christmas, and we had gotten her like these make-believe toys, like the vet stuff and like the baby doll stuff, like all the cute Melissa and Doug toys. And she would just dive into this world of imagination with these toys. And Lexi wasn't doing any of that.
That was my big sign too.
She plays so differently, and she still plays differently. She's starting to, I mean, she's been emerging into pretend play, but it's still vastly different than what my other daughter did.
Yep. I remember when Cooper, I would say he was like 18 months or 2, I dug out this whole bin of toy food, like plastic food, which like would be my daughter Winnie or Harbor's like pretend picnic would be like the best fun of all time. And I remember I can still vividly see it. We had this wall in our basement where the whole thing was a fireplace. And I gave Cooper like a plate with like play eggs on it. And I was like, let's eat it, right? Like just really trying to like play it up. And he picked up the eggs and like threw them at the wall. And I remember Jamie being like, oh, he's a boy. Like he's just throwing. And I'm like, no, something's not right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a big thing for me.
It's hard to see. And then the waiting for an answer, because even though my doctor didn't make us wait, and we got into a doctor pretty quickly, it was about 3 months after we went in, because I had missed her 18-month appointment. It was during COVID, and it just completely hit, and we had just moved, so I didn't even have a pediatrician lined up yet.
Yep.
And so I missed it, and it was about 20 months-ish, and I was like, she never did go to the doctor. And there's a lot of interesting things going on. Maybe I should make that appointment. So it was
were you emotional at all? Were you, because you're an intervention specialist, did that like help your emotions, or what were you feeling?
I think that it did. The one time where I really, really realized and was caught off guard by my emotions is we were at a daycare, and I had to have them fill out part of the questionnaire for the neurodevelopmental pediatrician. And when I got it back, the whole checklist said deficient for age. But because of COVID, there were so many limitations on like how far you could go into the building and the interaction. Like I met the teachers, but I never really saw the teachers. So I had no idea that they knew that there was that much going on. And I opened it up as after I put her in her car seat, I opened it up and was looking at it and saw it. And I just like ugly cried the whole way home. And then going through these like, oh my gosh, this is what I think it is. And I'm going to, I just went to like that dark place of like, is she ever going to talk? Is she ever going to get married? Is she ever going to drive? Is she going to go to, like, I just got scared in that moment.
Yeah.
But then once I kind of got myself out of that hard moment, then I was like, okay, let's move forward.
Yep. And I think that's healthy. That's healthy that you did that and felt that. And like, now let's keep going. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us about her now. So tell us about like what she's like, and what services does she get? People are always curious about that.
Yes. Hold on just a second. Yes, Alina. Yes, you may.
That is the cutest name. I've never heard that name before.
I love it. I hadn't either. I heard it. I met a little girl in a gas station on a vacation, and she was Hispanic, and she spoke English, but her family didn't. And she was telling me her name and how to spell it. And I was like, Brandon, I just had the sweetest conversation with a little girl in the bathroom, and her name was Alina. And he's like, I like that name. And that's how we ended up.
I love that story.
Yes. So she's named after a girl in a rest stop bathroom.
Yep. Works for me.
Yep. So Lexi is doing well now. And I'm very thankful that when I had gone to the doctor initially, that I wasn't faced with the let's wait and see.
Which
I was given I know, and I hate that. It isn't fair because the more you like, this is the time.
Yeah.
Not that it can't be accomplished later on, but young is a good time to start working on things. So we got into Help Me Grow, which she no longer has, but that was our stepping stone into therapies. And then since then, she's been in OT in speech, which she still does at at the hospital. And then she was doing PT, but the way our insurance worked, like we got so much PT and OT and they were in the same category. And so like halfway through the year, we had to stop because we were out of OT PT time. So we ended up, I know.
I hate it.
Yes. So we dropped PT so that way we could just focus on OT because I felt like she was getting a little more out of that anyways. And then I signed her up for dance. I was like, well, she can't do physical therapy, so let's try dance class. We aren't allowed to watch the dance class. The parents aren't. So I just sit in the room and she seems happy to go. She enjoyed it. She got on stage in the spring and did her thing in her own way. But she did it. And so she's also at school. She is on an IEP. She's going to be starting preschool at the public school where I teach this year, which I'm really excited about. And she'll get OT and speech there as well. So she's getting
it all day or half days?
It's all day, but it's Monday through Thursday.
Ooh, but that's still a good service. Ooh.
It is. I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah.
So she'll be there, and then she'll also get her OT and speech still through the doctor's office.
Okay.
And other services, we aren't really doing any other services right now. I will say some of the things that I did with her at home, though. I did follow Mary Barbera's course, and
you did?
I did. And that was actually when she first started talking. That was I always say that's how Lexi found her words, was through Turn Autism Around.
Have you told Mary that?
Oh, yeah. And I talked to her. I got to talk to her about it at your retreat.
Oh my gosh.
So
Mary's wonderful.
She is. She's so knowledgeable and good at what she does.
So does she have words now?
She does. So, and this is something I was just talking to her speech pathologist about, is she has words for like right here and right now.
Yep.
But it kind of starts and ends at that. So if I say, oh, did you color today? Like she has no idea. She'll either say yes, she'll say no. She might not respond with yes or no. I'm not sure. I don't know the names of any of her friends. I don't know what she does all day. At one point we had a communication folder going back and forth, and I don't know it just got consumed into our home.
I always say that.
It's somewhere. I don't know where. It came home and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
But so I really, really want her to be able to answer questions about things. And her speech pathologist said, bring in a picture of everyone in your family and we'll kind of start there, and having her talk about family members while they're not at her sessions with her.
Yep.
So I don't know how it's going to go, but I have hope.
Yeah.
And then
I just spent the weekend with, I was at this autism family camp, and there were, kids of all ages and all abilities. It was phenomenal. But one of the most amazing moms, Lisa, she has twins, Gwen and Griffin, and they are, I think they're 14. They're they're teens. They're in the teen land. But Gwen reminds me, like, her mom was just exactly what you just said. Her mom just said the exact same thing. She's like, Gwen she has words. She can talk about right now. She can answer some questions, but beyond that, we can't. And so she's like, she often gets confused for being more functional speaking because she can say some words. And it was really interesting because I only know this kind of, this non-speaking part.
Yes.
And, like, she could answer questions wonderfully, but she's like, a lot of times it's yes, and it might not be yes.
Yes, that's how we are too. Or if because we were working on yes and no, and I had cards from the speech pathologist, and it would be like a picture of a swing, but the question on the back is this a slide? And before I could even get the question out to ask Lexi, she'd be like, that's a blue swing. And it's like, but that's not like, yes, it is. But I want to be able to ask her so now I need to start asking her things where there's not a picture, because all she wants to do is she wants to look at it. She wants to say the color, and she wants to say what it is.
Yep.
So, and I'm thankful for the language she has. I'm very, very thankful for it. But there's still so much guesswork to her days and to her. And
I'll tell you, this weekend, so this family came up to us, and the mom was talking for her son, and she was like, we had to come over and say hi because my son just told me that he was in Cooper's class. And it was like really a wonderful conversation. And then afterwards, my heart kind of like pinged a little bit, because I was like, Cooper didn't even acknowledge or tell me. And it's like, I wish I knew the other kids. Like, I wish that's part of the isolation.
It is. And that's it's hard. It's like, I know that there's got to be more families in my community. I mean, I know there are. I work in the field, but it's getting connections with people who are local to you is hard.
Well, and I really do believe that more could be done to connect families in school. I don't have the answers, and this is not a negative statement, just a generalization, because, Cooper has, let's just say, 4 kids in his class, and I sent birthday invitations to all of them, and I got 1 no and one came, and the other 2 didn't even respond. And it's like, why? Like, I know you're looking for connection too, and maybe you're scared, or maybe you just think your child couldn't do it. And I'll tell you, it was a chaotic, wonderful birthday party. Everyone would have fit in. But I think there's just so much fear in this community too.
I do too. And I think that a lot of times people get stuck in in a shame.
They do.
And I think that's I hate that. I hate that people have to sit in that. And I'm thankful that I don't know, getting to just like put the story out there has been a really big blessing, honestly.
Yes. And I'll tell you, when I started writing, so I've been writing for 10 years, but I've been really sharing, let's just say, for 5. And there were no girl stories. I'm sure there were some. Actually, Jen Dunn just popped on. The first story I remember of reading about a girl was Jen with Kaya.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are I'm going to say something super silly. I didn't even know that there were girls with autism.
Yeah. There aren't as many. I think it's crazy that the whole table, I got to talk to them Monday night. I'm so excited.
Table for 5 girls?
Yeah. I'm going to be on one of their episodes. I'm really excited, but they have a lot of girls in that group.
They do.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, another, Opal, Renee that has Opal, I always think of her, like, she's such a powerful sharer. Like,
she is. She's a beautiful writer too.
Yes. And there are a lot of moms that don't share as much anymore, but used to, and life just gets busy. But is it Shelley Blackwood Tinnen? Is that her name? But like, I can like see their pictures, because I've been publishing them for years. And I'm like, you are really making a difference.
Yes.
Like, you are really because there's so many misconceptions that and I'm going to say something that autism happens to white boys. And it's like, autism knows no limits. Like, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, your gender, it happens.
It happens.
And we just have to share. Yeah. Anything else that you want to share with us? Tell us about your page and kind of the things that you talk about.
So yes. So my page is Life with Lexi. And I honestly share, it depends on how much time I have.
Yeah.
So I do like to share about just moments that happen in our life and how our life is impacted. Sometimes I just share fun pictures of what we're doing, but I've wanted to do more lives, but I get scared and I don't know why.
Well, I didn't do this is funny that you said that. Every video I ever did was uploaded. I was so terrified of lives up until probably a year and a half ago. I haven't been doing lives for very long, and either has Adrian.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
It is. And she does them regularly.
But it takes it's scary at first.
It is. And we got back from the Mother's Day retreat and I kept texting Sarah and Nikki and Molly. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a live. You guys have to go on and watch it because no one's going to watch it. And then I never did. I chickened out. They're like, we'll watch it. Just tell us when. I'm like, I'm afraid to.
Well, I have to go because I have to bring Jamie. He's heading on a fishing trip. But I'll tell you that I have an Instagram subscriber group. It's really small. There's like 20 people. And I will do lives on there and no one watches. And I'm like, this is even more awkward. I'm like,
that's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, I don't want to do it and then no one watch it. I'll get so just intimidated.
I know. And then it's intimidating when people do watch it. It's like,
yeah,
what is the happy medium here?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna I have to bring Jamie. He's headed out to live the dream.
Yes.
I'm going to tag your page so people can follow you. If you have a daughter on the spectrum or you're suspecting it, or go give her a follow.
Yes. I love getting to connect with other girl moms. I have one that I message all the time and we just met through me posting stuff. I actually messaged her before I hopped on here. I was like, I'm going to go lay with Kate.
What's her name?
Kara.
Oh, she's on here.
She's I was like, go on and watch. So it's fun getting to connect with other moms who have little girls, especially when they're going through the things that we went through and giving advice and getting to hear how they do things and what things that their girls like to do when it comes birthday and Christmas time. So,
well, and like I'll be honest, the reason I started my Facebook page, the sole reason is I thought we had the only child with nonverbal, however you want to say it, non-speaking autism. I'm like, where are they? I didn't know any. And I'm sure it feels like that as a girl mom too, because it's a smaller group. And once connecting with people, my dog is just chewing the crap. I don't know. It's hard to believe because he's perfect. But I just want to encourage people, like, you don't have to start a Facebook page, but just share in whatever way you can, and it will bring goodness to you. I promise.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. Have fun today. Send me a picture with your friends.
We will. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.